In the 70s version, Satan was a dude. It was a dude that was posing as this professor who was like, you know what, I'm tired of being in control of all the evil in the world. I kind of want to bone down some college students and drink some wine with them. And that character is in this movie, but it turns out he's not the devil. He's just an asshole. Hello and welcome to Blockbuster Review. If you don't know what that is, it is where I play a single game of Tetris Marathon and try to review a film before it reaches 150 lines or we get a game over. Spoilers are at line 50. I don't think it'll matter for this. So on my stream, which is twitch.tv/KirkHasGlasses, I tend to watch public domain film and hopefully chat with some homies while watching it. And recently I have done one called Satan's School for Girls, and I believe that was a 70s made-for-TV film about women who are being seduced by Satan. And then when getting the research for that movie, you know, getting thumbnails made for it, I noticed that there was a reboot, question mark, a reimagining, made for 2000, starring Shannon Doherty. That's why I said storing, because I knew Doherty was coming. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, this film was a remake in 2000 of Satan's School for Girls, and I wondered about it because Satan's School for Girls, the 70s version, wasn't very good. I thought it was paced poorly. I thought it played the reveal kind of dumb, considering the title of the film is Satan's School for Girls, so the mystery was then, well, who is behind this Satan School for Girls? And it was giving all these different characters that could be the culprit behind it, and then eventually it turned out to be this teacher that was just banging students and drinking with them and converting them to, you know, real deal Satanism. But this one, I was like, okay, so it's Shannon Doherty, it's also Julie Benz, it's also Taraji P. Henson, words, and I'm not even drinking, Taraji P. Henson, I'm probably saying it wrong. I have that up over here as I play Tetris. What? Taraji P. Henson. Fuck, I can't even say the words. But she's in this, as well as Julie Benz, as well as Shannon Doherty, and as well as a bunch of other no-name actors from 2000, from literal year 2000, from the millennia. And it starts out the same way. You know, a girl is running away scared, leaving her school, to try and find her sister. When she gets to her sister's place, she ends up committing suicide under mysterious circumstances. However, in this film, what is included is some absolutely ass special effects that look like trash, that are complete garbage. So the sister, now spurred by this belief that it wasn't a suicide, assumes a new identity and goes to her college, where she believes foul play was involved in the suicide or death of her sister. And then what begins is a mystery, you know, a twisted web of lies and distrust as to who is responsible for her sister's death. And you think it's these goth girls, and then of course one of the goth girls commits suicide, so you don't think it's her. And then you know, there's these popular girls that are actually the Satanists. We're past spoiler territory. A lot of misdirects, a lot of who's who. But in this one, it focuses more on the Five, and the Five are a group of powerful women of legend that have gotten all of their powers through nefarious means by communicating or communing with Satan himself. And in the 70s version, Satan was a dude. It was a dude that was posing as this professor who was like, you know what, I'm tired of being in control of all the evil in the world. I kind of want to bone down some college students and drink some wine with them. And that character is in this movie, but it turns out he's not the devil. He's just an asshole. Like, because I was like, okay, we're playing the same beats. He's really cool with the kids. He's dating the students. He's the cool professor, but we're going to find out he's Satan and he's recruiting. And then 2/3 through the movie, Julie Benz's character is like, you cheating on me, bitch? And he's like, look, you know, you're just crazy. You're just acting crazy. Like, well, he doesn't say that, but he gaslights her. He tries to smooth his way out of it. And then she's like, well, boom, bitch, I'm part of the Five. I'm going to turn into a dog and murder you. And you're like, what the fuck? And also, all of these witches have different powers. They can they can change their voice, like James Franco in Now You See Me. They could turn into dogs, but not vicious-looking dogs. I mean, they're attacking, but when I saw them, I was like, cool, dogs. And then it's like, oh, we're vicious. And I was like, are you sure? You just seem like cute, trained dogs. And the dude has nothing to do with it. It's these powerful women, which is kind of cool. You know, it was kind of cool for 2000s. There's still some homophobic panic, which I won't get into, that I was like, oh yeah, 2000. Still weren't cool with them gays. We wouldn't get past that until much later in time, I guess. And even then, some of us are still struggling. But what is cool is like, oh, so these are powerful women who, you know, commune with Satan themselves. That's cool. Except the movie kind of gives this idea like, hey, look, women are powerful, at least most women. Most women are powerful if Satan's involved. And then there was kind of this moment where I was like, was this kind of semi-propaganda to like be like, we shouldn't let women go to college? Because when women go to college, you know what ends up happening? They start communing with Satan. They start doing terrible things. They start boning professors. They start boning each other. And they start boning random hot model dudes in the forest. Because that was a weird dream sequence that came out of nowhere. And surprisingly, a lot more softcore than the 70s version. A lot more cutting to people in bed in loving embrace when we could see their top parts. Not their genitals, I'm just saying, like, everything you're allowed to show on TV. And I was also just shocked because it was, like, the year 2000, and we're like, you're getting away with a lot of implied boning and a lot of naughty words and a lot of Satan talk for ABC. Because, I mean, I watched it on YouTube. The whole movie's on YouTube. And there's just this ABC logo in the bottom the whole time, and I'm like, okay, it's so weird that this was allowed on TV, on ABC, in 2000, just this devil movie. I mean, it's a story where the good guys win, sort of. Our main character, played by Shannon Doherty, like, halfway through it, you find out she not only has psychic powers, she has telekinetic powers. And so you're like, oh, these 5 women, they take the power that they already have, multiply it with a little Satan juice, and then they go on and take on the world. And it's like, okay. And then she's like, well, we're not going to do that, bitch. And she just murders all of them at the ritual to turn her part of the 5. She's like, well, I'm not gonna do this. Fuck y'all. Enjoy some lightning. And she kills all the girls. She kills the headmaster, who turns out to be all about the 5. I thought, like, you think that she may not be involved, and turns out she is, and she's trying to get this thing happening. Then she just murders all of them, and then the end of the movie, because it's like, oh, okay, she murders, good guys win. And then it cuts to her like a couple years later, and she's married and has a kid, and I'm like, what the fuck could we be doing right now? And she says goodbye to her husband, and then her husband calls like 4 seconds after leaving the house, which is like, wow, that's a needy fucking husband. Anyhoozle, she has the baby, she puts the baby down, and then the baby gets surrounded by crows, and then the crow's eyes light up like all the other animals that were actually people. And you're like, ooh, is there going to be a sequel? Of course not, because this TV movie was garbage. Anyhoozle, that's it. Have a good one. Check out some other Blockbuster videos if you can, and if you want to suggest a movie, if it's on a streaming service or for free, I'll watch it and do one of these dumb reviews for it. Have yourself a good one. Peace.